What if I told you that almost everything you've been taught about energy, batteries, and self-sufficiency is a carefully constructed lie? Every single day, we are forced into a silent contract. We shell out hundreds of dollars for the latest lithium-ion packs, or we buy pack after pack of toxic, disposable alkaline batteries. They are heavy, they are expensive, and crucially, they are engineered from day one with a built-in shelf life. They are literally designed to die. But why? The answer isn't a limitation of science. It's a business model. It's called planned obsolescence. Big tech and energy corporations want you trapped on a never-ending upgrade treadmill. They want you spending money on replacement devices and fresh batteries year after year, while billions of depleted toxic units are discarded into our landfills, poisoning our soil and water. But what if a permanent, self-replicating alternative was hidden right under our noses? What if the key to breaking free from this cycle was sitting in a stagnant pond, waiting to be unlocked? Look at this jar. This isn't just pond scum. It's a living, breathing power plant. And today, we are going to supercharge this biological engine using a controversial, completely free household waste electrolyte that you flush away every single day. This is the secret they swept under the rug. Let's pull back the curtain. To understand how we got here, we have to travel back in time. Reliable, decentralized energy is not a modern invention. In 1936, near Baghdad, archaeologists unearthed a small clay jar containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod. When filled with an acidic liquid like grape juice or vinegar, this primitive setup generated a steady electric current. Nearly 2,000 years ago, ancient civilizations had already figured out how to harvest electricity from basic chemistry, without rare earth metals, and without high-tech factories. Later, in the early 1900s, inventors like Thomas Edison designed nickel-iron batteries that could last for over 40 years, surviving extreme abuse and endless cycles without losing capacity. So why did these everlasting technologies vanish from the mainstream? Because a battery that lasts a lifetime is a financial disaster for a corporation that thrives on selling you replacements. The focus of modern industry shifted away from durable, self-sustaining chemistry toward disposable, highly profitable, and delicate systems. But nature never stopped producing its own power. Let's talk about the biology of this green sludge, algae. At a microscopic level, algae are nature's most efficient primitive solar panels. Through the process of photosynthesis, these tiny organisms absorb light, split water molecules, and continuously generate free electrons as a natural byproduct of their metabolic cycle. Under normal conditions, these electrons simply dissipate back into the water, lost to the environment. But if we can build a physical container that intercepts these electrons before they escape, we can harness them as usable electricity. However, there is a catch. If you just stick 2 wires into a jar of pond water, the current is incredibly weak. The electrical conductivity of plain water is far too low to create a practical battery. To turn this biological curiosity into a true powerhouse, we need an electrolyte that can rapidly bridge the gap between the living cells and our electrodes. And the most conductive, nitrogen-rich organic fluid readily available in every household is human urine. It sounds bizarre, and frankly a little disgusting. But scientifically, human urine is a powerhouse of free-floating mineral ions, urea, and nitrogen. When mixed in a precise ratio with our living algae culture, it doesn't kill the organisms. It feeds them. The nitrogen acts as a massive nutrient boost for the algae, while the high salt and ion concentration in the liquid dramatically lowers the electrical resistance of the solution. By combining these two discarded elements, we supercharge the biological reaction, driving the electron flow from a faint whisper to a steady, measurable, and highly active electrical current. Here is exactly how we build it. Before we touch a single wire, let's establish some ground rules. While this project is incredibly safe compared to handling volatile lithium cells or caustic industrial acids, we are still dealing with biological cultures and organic compounds. When preparing nitrogen-rich organic electrolytes, always work in a well-ventilated space. Protect your eyes with safety goggles and wear gloves. The goal here is education, safe exploration, and demonstrating real scientific principles. So treat your workspace with the respect of a professional lab. Now, let's assemble the core engine of our battery, the electrode pack. Unlike a simple school science project where you drop two random metal rods into a cup, we are going to build a high surface area prismatic cell. The more surface area our electrodes have, the more electrons we can capture from the surrounding algae. For our positive electrode, the anode, we are using high-purity carbon rods. Carbon is highly conductive, non-reactive, and provides a perfect textured surface for the algae microbes to cling to and deposit their electrons. For our negative electrode, the cathode, we are using aluminum sheets. Aluminum reacts with the electrolyte solution to establish the electrical potential difference needed to draw current. But here is the most critical part of the assembly: the spacing. If our carbon anode and aluminum cathode touch each other directly inside the liquid, they will cause an immediate short circuit. The electrons will jump directly from one plate to the other inside the jar, completely bypassing our circuit, and our battery will die instantly. To prevent this, we insert a thin, porous plastic mesh spacer between them. This allows the liquid electrolyte to flow freely between the plates, but physically blocks the metals from making direct contact. Once wrapped tightly, we have a compact, highly efficient prismatic electrode pack ready to slide into our non-reactive glass container. Now we face a fascinating engineering challenge that you never have to worry about with sealed commercial batteries. Our battery is literally alive. Because algae are living, breathing organisms, they undergo biological processes that release tiny amounts of microgases, including oxygen during the day, and trace amounts of carbon dioxide and hydrogen. If you seal this glass jar completely airtight, the gas pressure will gradually build up inside the container, eventually causing a leak, or worse, cracking the glass. However, if you leave the jar wide open, the water in your electrolyte will evaporate rapidly, drying out the battery and killing the biological reaction. To solve this, we design a custom ventilated pressure lid. We run our positive and negative lead wires through two small holes, sealing them tightly with a bead of hot glue or silicone to prevent leaks. Then, we install a tiny one-way gas release valve or a simple semi-permeable membrane over a third hole. This allows the biological gases to vent safely out of the jar when pressure builds, while keeping the moisture locked inside. With our physical container complete, it's time to fill it with our living biological fuel. The electrodes are submerged. The biological seal is tight. The chemistry is set. Now let's step up to the moment of truth. Let's see if this unorthodox living setup can actually generate real, measurable electrical potential. There it is. No edits, no tricks, no hidden wires. Right now, a living biological reaction inside a simple glass jar is pushing a steady $1.65 volts of electricity. The free electrons released by the photosynthesis of the algae, carried through the highly conductive path of our organic electrolyte, are actively charging our electrodes. But a simple voltage spike on a meter doesn't mean much if it dies out in a few minutes. To prove that this isn't just a brief chemical flash in the pan, we need to test its endurance over time. We left this exact biological cell sitting in a corner of our workshop for 7 straight days, 168 hours of continuous operation. With a traditional store-bought AA battery, drawing a constant current eventually depletes the chemical reactants, causing the voltage to steadily decay until the battery is completely dead. But watch what happened to our living cell. As the days progressed, the algae colony inside the jar adjusted to its environment. Using the nutrients from the organic electrolyte and the natural ambient light of the room, the biological culture actually began to multiply. Because the living engine was growing, our electrical output didn't fade. It stabilized, maintaining a rock-solid continuous current throughout the entire week. It is officially day 7, and our living battery is still going strong. But let's take this experiment to its ultimate logical conclusion. Let's put this power to work. With a sharp click, the LED light rig instantly illuminates, bathing the workbench in a bright, clean light. Look at that. This light is running entirely on raw biological power harvested from common pond algae and the organic electrolyte that most of the world treats as useless waste. This isn't just a successful science experiment, it is a proof of concept. It is proof that we do not have to rely entirely on centralized distribution, expensive supply chains, or finite resource-heavy technologies to access basic, reliable energy. When you understand the fundamental laws of nature, chemistry, and biology, self-sufficiency ceases to be an expensive luxury. It becomes something you can build with your own hands, right in your garage, using the very things society tells you to throw away. The technology to step off the grid and break free from the cycle of dependency is already here, hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who are willing to look. I want to hear from you. How would you scale this living battery concept for your own off-grid projects? What would you power first? Share your thoughts, your ideas, and your own DIY experiences in the comments below. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, dive deep into the science of self-reliance and never miss our next detailed educational breakdown, hit that subscribe button and join the revolution. Power is truly in your hands.